So I'm just going to turn this down. It's a bit noisy. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. And as you exhale, sighing out of the mouth, letting go of the weight of the body into the ground. If your lower back is tight, please take your feet onto the mat, knees up. And either having your hands around your abdomen or out to the sides, palms facing up. Starting to send your breath a little bit deeper down into your belly. Softening your hips. Softening between the legs, your pelvic floor. Slowing the breath down, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Noticing where there is restriction in the body. Maybe there's tightness in the shoulders. Maybe as you breathe in, you can feel some tightness between the ribs. Maybe it's in the pelvis, the hips. See if you can take some really kind breaths into the body, inviting a sense of release, softening. Sometimes this tension or tightness or constriction in the body is purely physiological. Maybe you've been exercising a lot. Maybe you've been kind of hunched over a desk. A lot of the time, it's a mixture of physical and emotional stress. When we become stressed in our internal world, this sends a cascade of chemical reactions through the body. The body doesn't know the difference between you thinking or reliving something or projecting into the future and something actually happening in the present moment. So when we think stressful thoughts, when we are maybe going through a period of stress and find normal, everyday, small situations extra stressful, the body is living with a lot of extra cortisol and adrenaline running through it. And these chemicals actually create a lot more tension, especially in the shoulders. It hardens muscles. It's just considering the importance of slowing down, of creating spaces for yourself in your day and your week to unwind your mind, unwind your body. Help the nervous system to switch back into a repair, a relaxation state. To switch off these neurotransmitters, these chemicals of stress. To reconnect with your body. Breathing deeper and deeper now. Maybe you can start to feel a sense of slight expansion in the body as we lay here in stillness, focusing on the breath. Allowing the body this space to put all the baggage down, put down all the stress. Maybe you can feel a slight release in the lower back, the shoulders, the neck, the jaw, or wherever it is that you have been holding tension. On your next inhale, begin to reach your hands up overhead. Let your ribs lift, and you can press your sacrum, that flat bit at the lower back, into the ground. But just be careful not to overarch the back. Like, you just squeeze the shoulders, activate the muscles, maybe making little fists, opening the hands, scrunching them up again, maybe rolling out through the wrists. Then draw the shoulders down away from the ears. I like the backs of the hands to be on the floor or the mat, pressing slightly into the ground. So you feel a slight activation into the shoulders, backs of the arms, backs of the hands. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, please draw your knees. Sorry, anyone that doesn't have their feet on the mat, slide your feet onto the mat. So your knees are up, and your knees are slightly wider than hip distance, so a bit of space here. You're pressing the hands, the arms down into the ground, and then as you exhale, drop the knees over to the right-hand side. So I want space between the legs. Brilliant. Think about almost pressing your left knee down towards the ground. We're going to take 2 breaths here. Full body breaths, feel the belly open, the ribs open, and then you can exhale and give a little bit of engagement here. You'll feel the left abdominal wall wrapping over the bone of the left hip, that little stretch. Feel a little pull between the base of the shoulder blade, maybe, and the top of the hip. Opening up any tightness in the ribs as you breathe. So the breath is really the activator here. Inhaling, belly expands. Exhale, again, draw in at the abdomen. Now I'd really like you to press the hands a little bit more. Press that left knee down into the ground, right knee into the ground. Can you feel that stretch through the left side of the body? The upper half and lower half moving in opposite directions as the belly draws in. So we're stretching that soft tissue through the left side. As you inhale, soften everything. So we're not kind of creating strength. We're not creating any tension. We're not overactivating. You're going to exhale, engage your core, draw in. Inhale, soften. Exhale, engage. And this can be really small. It can be a little tiny activation. It could be a little bit more of a squeeze if that feels good for your body. So please, please listen to what your body needs this morning. Maybe you want to have a little bit more of a ring out. Maybe that feels really good to squeeze a little bit more. Maybe your body's feeling a bit tender today and you need a little bit more gentleness. So please do listen. One more breath to this side. Exhale, drawing in. Inhale, soften. Bring the knees back up to center nice and slow. We're just going to pause here for a couple of breaths. I'd like you to try to keep that active breath. So as you inhale, belly expands. Imagine you're breathing straight down your spine. And as you exhale, you're going to engage slightly, drawing in, like you're pressing the breath up from the bottom to the top of your body, like you would squeeze the last bit of toothpaste out from the base of a tube. Just let the left side of your body settle. Arms are soft. It's just the abdomen engaging on the exhale slightly. Inhale, release. Now as you exhale, keep the knees wide, rolling down to the left side. Press the backs of the arms into the mat softly. We're going to inhale and exhale. Engage your core. Maybe press your arms a little bit more. Press your right knee down towards the floor. Inhale, soften. Allow this to build up a little bit. So try not to maybe go straight into your deepest engagement here. We're opening up muscles, connective tissue. We're helping the organs either side of the body, giving them a little bit of a massage, helping them to move along through their processes. Right side under the rib cage, we have our liver. Obviously, you've got all your digestive organs in the abdomen. Exhale, drawing in, maybe starting to press a little bit more if that feels good for your body this morning. Squeezing out tension, squeezing out those stress molecules that might be stuck in your muscles. Working with the breath, activating gently. One more here, please. Inhale, slowly soften, come back to center very gently. Bring your hands down by your sides. So let the body soften again for a moment. Keep that breath going though. Inhale, belly opens and expands. Exhale, softly drawing in. Inhale, engaging. Exhale, lifting in and up. We're going to move into our Pilates technique, which will be similar to what you've been doing with this engagement. First of all, I'd like you to just check that your pelvis is in a neutral position. So this is where your pubic bone and your hip points will be completely level. You can test that with your hands. Bring your fingertips and thumbs together, making a triangle, and then lay it over the front of the pelvis. And you can look or feel if the fingers and the thumbs are completely level. Slide your feet in so that your heels are underneath your knees. Spread your toes, make sure your toes are pointing forward. You want heels in alignment with your sit bones, knees in alignment with your hip points. Take a breath into your belly again, keep the pelvis neutral. As you exhale, blowing out through the lips now, drawing in and up pelvic floor, lower abdominals engage. Inhale, soften. Exhale. If anyone's not sure what muscles the lower abdominals are, you can take a breath in, and then as you exhale, a short, sharp breath out will help you feel that little jump between the hip bones, the muscle that jumps. And this is what we're trying to engage. You can also just walk your fingertips right in towards one another. They'll fall in from the hip points. You'll feel that little dip, and then you can engage and release, engage and release. You'll feel them. Then I'd like you to bring your ribs down towards your hips. Keep your pelvis in this position. Keep that little lift in through the lower abdominals. We're going to start breathing into the back and sides of the ribs. So no breath into belly. Take one hand to your rib cage. Take the other hand just below your navel so you can feel if your belly moves. Send that breath wide. You might even feel the back of your rib cage expanding on the mat. In through the nose, out through the lips, like you've got a straw in your mouth. Relax the shoulders down the back. You might need to just slide them down slightly. Check that you haven't let your ribs lift up towards the ceiling. Take your hands by the sides. We're going to try and focus on keeping that rib to hip connection, keeping the torso nice and stable and the backs of the shoulder blades on the mat. As you inhale, float both hands up towards the ceiling, palms facing one another. As you exhale, right hand comes back, left hand comes down. Just notice if your right rib cage is lifted up. You can feel it with your hand, maybe, see if there's a difference. If it has, I want you to draw down, engage a little bit more. Maybe don't reach your hand back so far. Let it come to the diagonal. Inhale through center, breath into ribs. Exhale, scissoring in the opposite direction. Inhale through center. Exhale, scissoring right hand back. I want you to move slowly, almost like your arms are moving through water. Focus on controlling from the shoulders, the ribs, the pelvis. If this feels okay and you feel like you've got good stability and you're not too sleepy still, we'll add in some coordination. So this time, as your left hand comes back, you're going to slide the right leg away, right hand comes down. Inhale through center, exhale, other side. It can help to push away with the heel. You can slide your leg across the mat. Try to keep your hips steady. Can you feel that you need to use a little bit more engagement maybe in your abdominals to keep the pelvis from rocking around? We're still keeping the ribs down, still breathing into the back and sides of the rib cage. Pelvis is neutral. Lovely, everyone. One more each side. Inhale, hands to center. Exhale, hands float down by the sides. Keep this lovely rib to hip connection. We're going to come into our ab prep. Inhale, nod. Exhale, sliding up ribs to hips. Reach your fingertips towards your heels. Inhale, hold it. Breath into ribs. Exhale, peeling down, releasing head and shoulders. Inhale, nod. Exhale, sliding up ribs to hips. Pelvis stays steady and the belly doesn't dome up. So you want to keep that nice drawn in sensation. Inhale to hold and exhale, release. If anyone is having tension in neck and shoulders, you can take your hands behind your head, elbows wide. Just make sure you can see them in your peripheral vision and you haven't let your ribs come up. Lovely. Make sure that your tailbone is staying nice and heavy in the mat. So we're not letting the pubic bone roll up to meet the nose. I want you to look at your belly as you come up, nod, see what happens here at the abdomen. Lifting up the tops of the shoulders off the mat, you're just keeping the blade, the base of the shoulders on the mat. Lovely. Make this your last one. Really good. And then you could take a little breath, maybe take a little stretch. And resetting, coming back into that start position, heels underneath knees. We're going to come into some hip rolls. So really important where you're placing your legs. So have a look. I want the heel to be right under the knee, so not too far away. And we're not having legs wide. I want the heels in alignment with the sit bones, center of the knee in alignment with the center of the hip. So you can feel what that looks like. Draw lines if you need to. You're starting in a neutral pelvis. Hands are by the sides. You could press down into the hands for support. As you exhale, So you're going to zip in and up through the core and just roll your hips in towards your ribs. So you're closing that little curve in the lower back. Inhale, pelvis comes back to neutral. Exhale, zipping in and up. Inhale, pelvis back to neutral. I'd like you to try not to squeeze your glutes and your legs to roll the pelvis in. I'd like you to see if you can use that internal lift, zipping up and then rolling back. Brilliant. Now we're going to continue that roll. Start to peel up tailbone, lower back, mid back, and then come up to the shoulders. Please press into your feet. Drive the knees forward. Keep that zipped up sensation through the abdomen. Take a breath into ribs. And then exhale, peel down slowly. One vertebra at a time. Lower back. Then rolling the pelvis into neutral. Take a breath into ribs again. And exhale. Zipping up. Press into the big toe, the baby toe, the heel. This activates the inner thigh, outer thigh, glutes. Make sure that you're not coming up into a big back bend. So keep your ribs drawing down towards your hips. Inhale and exhale, roll down slowly, slowly, slowly. Getting as much movement through the spine as you can. You're going to support that movement with your lower abdominal engagement. So the hips come high and the ribs stay connected, drawn down. I want you to feel some activation through the glutes. Lovely. Brilliant. Great. Nice. You can just bring your feet in a little bit, come down. And then bring your feet back. It'll make you to where my hand is, a bit further. Yes. You'll feel a bit more activation then. Lovely. Take 3 more here. Really enjoy coming up and coming back down. We're looking for spinal mobility, spinal articulation, it's called. So each piece of your spine gets that nice movement. You can come up a little bit higher. A little bit higher, 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 higher. There you go. Really good. Making this your last one. If you need to lengthen your legs away, then please do give them a little shake out. Keep a slight zipping in and up through the abdominals, just to protect the lower back. Then we'll press the hands into the mat again, feet are on the ground, knees up. Just check pelvis is neutral. You're nice and engaged, pelvic floor, lower abdomen, ribs down. As you exhale, lift your right leg into tabletop. If you haven't done Pilates before, tabletop position is knee right over the hip. So it's not in too much and it's not away too far, okay? And you've got a 90-degree bend at the knee and toes are pointed. Take a breath into ribs. I want you to really focus on keeping the pelvis stable. As you exhale, swap the legs over. Inhale, exhale, swap. If you are struggling and you need a little bit more support from your core, really press into your hands. This is going to help the abdominals deepen their engagement. If anyone wants something a bit more challenging, if you've been doing Pilates a bit longer, lift both legs to tabletop, and then you can tap one toes down and then the other. If you've got any crunching or popping in the hip, focus on a deeper engagement through your pelvic floor. Use the breath. One more each side. Finish with the left leg. Take your hands to your knees. Let go of the weight of the legs in the hands. And then you can just stir the legs in the hips. Take a little bit of movement here. We're going to bring the right leg into tabletop and the left leg on the floor. Coming back into our ab prep. If you do need hands behind the head, please go for it. Inhale, nod. Exhale, sliding up. I want you to look at your hips and just notice when we lift one leg, bring the other leg to the floor. Yeah, one knee. Perfect. Sometimes when we lift one leg, we can tend to kind of roll over to one side or the other. So I want you to keep the pelvis nice and steady here. Breath into ribs. Exhale, release back down. Inhale, nod. Exhale, slide up. Inhale, hold. Exhale, release back down. Just notice if your leg is moving at all as you come up and down the right leg. If that's happening, that's an indicator that the pelvis is moving. So I want you to really focus on your abdomen. Last one here. And release. You can lengthen that right leg away, give it a little wobble, a little shake. Swapping over. So sliding your right foot onto the mat, knee up. Left leg lifts to tabletop. Notice again if the hips have rocked to one side, and it might not have happened the other side, it might happen one side. Just reset, check your technique, check the position of your body. And we'll begin. Inhale, nod. Exhale, slide up. Inhale, hold. Exhale, release. As you come up, I want you to lift the head and really do come up, but just check that you're not resting your chin on your chest. You want to have a little bit of space. Keep going in your own time, nice and slow, moving with the breath, relaxing the shoulders, engaging the abdomen. Make sure you're lifting with your core and not your neck, your chest, your shoulders. Last one, please. Release that leg. Give it a little wobble, a little shake. Then we'll all take hands behind the head, please. Make sure you can see your elbows in your peripheral vision, but they are wide. Feet on the mat, knees up. Pelvis neutral. Notice if your ribs have stuck up towards the ceiling now that you've taken hands behind the head. Draw them down, give it a little bit of engagement here. We're going to inhale, nod, exhale, slide up, and we're holding here. Again, look to your belly, make sure that you haven't let it pop up towards the ceiling. Keep that zipped up sensation. Inhale into ribs. As you exhale, your left rib cage is going to come across towards your right hip. So I want you to imagine drawing an X here. Inhale, come back through center, stay lifted. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale, stay lifted. Exhale, over. Keep the back of the pelvis nice and steady. Inhale, center. Exhale, across. Inhale, center. We'll come down and reset. Take a breath. Engage again. Inhale, nod. Exhale, slide up. So you should feel the base of your shoulder blades on the floor. Inhale. Exhale to the left this time. Please make sure that the knees aren't moving, the hips aren't moving. So it's just the ribs, the upper body. Inhale, center. Exhale, across. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Last one, exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, release. Take a full body stretch. You can let your ribs rise. Take a breath into your belly. We're going to come up to seated. Come a little bit towards the front of your mat. Feet on the mat, knees up. When you look down, you want to feel that you've got train tracks. So second toe, knee, and hip points in alignment. So the feet aren't too wide, the knees aren't too wide. Take your hands behind your thighs, and I want you to engage through the core. So lift up through the spine, roll the shoulders back and down, nice open chest. Feel that little activation through your lower tummy. As you exhale, imagine you're closing the gap between your ribs and your hips, and you're going to create a C shape through the spine from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Elbows are wide, so I want you to avoid hunching your shoulders up towards your ears and kind of caving in the chest too much. And then we'll inhale, lengthen back up again. Keeping a nice lift through the core. Exhale. We're rounding through the lower back more so than the upper back, or that's your focus. Inhale, lengthen back up again. Really get that nice movement through your spine. Exhale. If that feels good, stay there. If you want to add on, you can walk your hands down the backs of the legs, keep the elbows wide, keep that C shape through the spine. So you're not just leaning back, you're rolling back. Nice engagement through the core. We're going to inhale, breath into ribs, not belly. Exhale, use your tummy muscles to dive forward. So see how the shape of my spine did not change. And inhale, lengthen. We exhale, C shape. Then walk down with control. Inhale, hold it. Exhale, dive forward. Use your tummy muscles, use your hands to climb back up if you need to. And then inhale, re-lengthen. If that feels okay and you want to add on, we can take the hands forward. Really important not to let the shoulders come forward and up, okay? We want to keep stable in the shoulder blades. Exhale, rolling down. Hands come down by the sides to keep the chest open. Inhale, breath into ribs. Exhale, dive forward. Use your tummy muscles. Take two more, please. So lots of layers there, lots of options for everyone. Different bodies. Really nice. Lovely. Last one. And I'd like you to lengthen your legs away. Take your hands behind your back, open your chest. Just give your legs a little kick. I'm sure your hip flexors were working a bit there. Take knees onto the mat, or sorry, feet onto the mat, knees wide, and just give the knees a little drop side to side. Lifting back up, lengthen your legs away. Feel your sit bones on the floor. Lifting up through the spine. I want you to press through the balls of the big toes and toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Okay, so legs are active. You might even drive your heels into the mat. The knees don't have to be completely straight. You can have a little bend if you need to. I want you to imagine you've got a big heavy ball on your lap. As you inhale, I want you to lengthen up and feel that engagement through your core. You're going to freeze your pelvis where it is. So I'll just show you what we're not doing first, okay? We're not going to tip forward and close that gap and reach. We're going to come up and over on the exhale. Keep the shoulders stabilized. So it looks much smaller, but it's a lot more active. You're going to get a lot more feeling through the spine. Imagine your tailbone is growing down into the ground and the crown of the head is growing forward. You can really feel those tummy muscles stopping the hips rolling forward. Exhale to peel back up, restacking the spine, shoulders fall down the back. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, come up and over, use your tummy muscles. Inhale, feel that breath into the back of the body, exhale, peeling back up. Take 3 more in your own time. Lovely. So I do want you to feel that you are stretching forward, like you're kind of aiming to dive up and over the feet. But it's almost as though, imagine I'm behind you and I'm holding your belly. So there's actually, you can't go any further. It's like a seatbelt almost. That's going to be your core muscles. Lovely, everyone. Really nice. And please do remember to peel back up. So I want you to feel that you're coming up one vertebra at a time, like you did it on your back, rolling back up to a nice long back. Make this your last one. And then as you exhale, I just want you to flop forward. So you can bend your knees, relax your arms, relax your head. We're going to lift back up, roll down, and then roll over onto one side. So it doesn't matter which side, maybe turn in so you can see me. I'm going to do some clams, so lifting the knees up. Just want you to make sure that heels are in alignment with the back of your pelvis. Look down to your knees. If one knee is coming forward, that means your hips coming forward. If one knee is coming back, that means your hips coming back. I want you to stack the hips, stack the knees. Almost feel as though you're lifting your waist up out from the floor. So we're quite active here. Zip up through your abdomen. Pelvis is neutral. Take your hand to your top hip. We're going to split the heels, keep the toes together. As you exhale, lifting your knee without letting that hip roll. So your hand is here to check that it doesn't move. Inhale to lower back down. Exhale. Inhale, release. Keep the core nice and engaged, nice and active. Every exhale, the abdominals naturally draw in. Really nice. We want to start feeling this into the glute here, that kind of outside. If you want to add on, you can lift your feet off the mat. Just make sure you don't roll forward, okay? Keep the pelvis stable. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it. We're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Bend your knee up, give your glute, your hip a little rub, a little tap. Then we're going to keep that bottom leg bent, extend the top leg. That top leg wants to be in alignment with the hip. Keep your hand on that top hip. So hopefully the bottom leg bent is going to help you from wobbling around. We want you to keep that lift in through the core. As you inhale, circle the leg forward, and as you exhale, circle the leg back. I want you to imagine you're drawing a perfect circle on the wall in front of you. So make sure that your circle's not here. Okay, make sure that it's not like this and then a tiny bit back. I want equal parts forward, equal parts back. Look down. Is your leg circling here? Is your leg kind of coming forward? Bring it back. When you bring it back, we get the glute involved as well. Reverse your circles for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Well done. Rolling all the way over to the other side. Bending up knees. Check that your hips are stacked. Lifting the waist out from the floor slightly. Zipping up through pelvic floor, lower abdominals, hand on top hip. Split the heels, toes are together. And we exhale, open that knee, making sure there's no rolling of that upper hip. Keep a little bit of engagement into the glute, feel a little squeeze. Notice if there's a difference in sensation on one side. Notice if there's a difference in mobility. Maybe you can't open your leg as high. Maybe it's got more range of movement. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. I did this in the wrong order on this side. We're going to lift the legs and go again. So, sorry, same thing. Clams on this side. You're just going to lift your toes off the mat because I left this level out by accident. Apologies. Keep using your breath, making sure that you're using that nice engagement through the pelvic floor and the lower abdomen. 3, 2, 1. Lift and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Well done. Extend the top leg, keep the bottom leg bent. Keep that zipped up sensation. We're going to exhale, circle forward, inhale, circle back. Small circles. Check that your hip isn't going with you as well. Imagine your legs stirring in the hip. Reverse. Keep it slow, keep it small. It's actually harder to control, or the muscles work a little bit harder when we slow things down. Last one. And release. Bend the knee up. We're going to roll onto our backs again. Take your left knee in towards your chest. Open across the shoulders. Press the shoulder blades into the mat. And you can lengthen the right leg away and bring the left knee across, coming into a twist. Opening up the left arm to the side, rotate the chest. If it's too much, bend up your bottom leg. Let the body fall into the ground, changing your breath pattern, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Slowly releasing. Sliding your right leg up, left ankle onto the right thigh. Flexing your toes and maybe just pressing the knee away with the strength of the leg. That might be enough of a stretch for you. If you want to, you can lift the right knee. Take the hands behind the right thigh. Wherever you are, please keep flexing through your left toes. So you're pulling your toes towards your shin. This is going to protect the knee. You can relax the right foot, just let it flop. Keep breathing deeply, deeply down into the belly. Relaxing pelvic floor now. Relaxing your shoulders. Gently releasing if you have lifted that top leg and then extending the left leg away. Taking the right knee in towards the chest. Lengthen the left leg away. Open across the shoulders. And taking the right knee across the body. Opening up into a twist, bending up your left leg if it feels too much for your back, for your body. Slowly rolling onto your back again. Taking the right ankle onto the left thigh, flexing the toes. Draw the knee down towards the ground. Either staying here or lifting the knee, the left knee in towards the left shoulder. Deep breaths. Let the back of the body be held by the ground. Letting go of effort in the shoulders. Releasing the legs. Rolling over onto your front. We're going to take the hands underneath the shoulders. Press the tops of the toes into the mat. Press your pubic bone into the mat. Roll the shoulders back. Lift the chest. Squeeze the elbows into the waist. Engage your glutes, opening through the front of the spine. And then exhaling, draping yourself back down again. Option is to come and lay on your back for Savasana, closing meditation, or stay in crocodile pose, this is called, where you take your hands together and then rest your brow on your hands, relax the shoulders, relax the body. This is a nice way to just close the senses off from the world around. Relax completely through the shoulders. Feel your body becoming heavier. Feel the gentle compression of the belly against the ground as you breathe in and out. Feel how the body rises slightly as you breathe in and sinks deeper into the ground as you exhale. I feel a sense of complete surrender. I feel the mind grounded. The body at ease. Slowly beginning to deepen your inhale. Maybe stretching the toes, giving the hips a little wiggle side to side. And taking your hands underneath your shoulders, pressing yourself up and back into a child's pose. Bringing your heels and your sit bones closer together. Walking your hands forward. Feeling a gentle stretch across the shoulders and into the lower back. Deepening the breath. Press your hands into the ground. Lift your gaze. We're just going to come to a little down dog to help the body wake up again. Tuck under your toes. Lift your hips back and just walk out through the legs. Have a little wiggle, whatever feels good. Inhale, gaze between your hands, drop your knees and come back into a seated position. You could turn around if you want to. Any comfortable seat. We'll inhale, circle hands up overhead, giving thanks to the sky above us. Thumbs to brow center to honor your own inner wisdom. To heart center, honoring your own inner peace and compassion for all. And we bow down to the earth beneath us, giving thanks. And thanking you all so much this morning. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for showing up bright and early.
Thanks, Shofra.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Shofra. Thank you, guys.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.